Okay, we're back again, back in the land of the teletype, and today, well, welcome. I'm going to start with introducing like what the equipment is, just because you never know. If you're new here, then I'll talk about it. And if you're not new here, then you can skip forward. Or press pause, or come back later, or something. Anyway, say hi in the chat. I have so much fun doing this thing, you would not believe it. Essentially what I'm doing here is working on a Teletype computer terminal, and I've got a couple of cameras set up, one that I can zoom in and out, so there you are, that's what it looks like with my OBS thing and my Teletype, and sometimes my head gets in the way, so just ignore that. I'm going to try like sit here and not block the cameras too much, because the fun is when the hammer hits the paper. So this is a computer terminal. I'm logged in, and so you can see I'm a user called ASR33. My host name is stdio, which just seemed appropriate because this is kind of the standard I/O device. It has a keyboard, it has a printer, it's ASCII. What more do you need? Well, at the side there's a tape punch, and so you can punch things on paper tape, and I don't plan to do a whole lot of that today, but we can if we want to. And it'll do nice messages and so on. So actually let's do a little just so you see it. You turn it on, and if I move this around here, you'll see a little bit of it as it goes. And what I really want to show you is this coming out of the machinery. Basically, it says copy anything that goes to the printer onto 8-hole punch tape. Which turns out to be a lovely thing indeed. Turn it off. Let's see, what did we print? Well, we printed some nice little hearts and a bunch of ASCII. Right, there's the actual text of whatever came out of the printer just now. Isn't it lovely? So I have enormous fun doing this kind of thing. But what I'm doing today is a little bit more up to the minute. This machinery here dates to 1969. It is 50 years old. And so we want to do something that's up to the moment and modern and yeah. Oh, by the way, there's no computer here. This is just the terminal. The computer it's connected to is a little Raspberry Pi style thing that I can show you. It's way over here. Swivel this around, somewhere here on the desk. There. And And if I zoom out a little, you'll see it in its little box. It's actually a Google HTPU and some custom electronics that is the connector for the current loop serial port. So there we go, back in the zone. Yeah, well, what are we going to do today? Well, let me decide what we're going to do and chime in with the chat. We're going to go places. The thing that I want to do, the purpose that I come here with, is I want to continue working on the GPT-2 machine learning language model. And for that, you'll have to go look at my previous go watch last week's. But there's also a little write-up on the GitHub. So after we spent some time doing it last week, then I went and wrote a little thing on GitHub. Let's see if I can get this to show up. It does not want to show up right now. My thing is just misbehaving. I don't know why my thing's misbehaving. Well, there's this. That shows up. Bear with me here. What about this? That looks realistic. There we go. So yeah, up on GitHub slash ASR33, sorry, slash hupile slash ASR33, there's a directory called GPT-2, and here is a little write-up of what we tried to do. So the basic story so far is I have a Teletype terminal. I used this OpenAI language model, 345 million parameters. It's a really serious model. And it generates some text that is quite uncanny. Now I have some nice product documentation from Teletype that came with the machine, and there's like four books of this, and it's very technical, and it's written in a very dry style, but it has some pictures that I didn't scan. So I just took the OCR versions of this from BitSavers, cleaned up the OCR text a bit, and then trained the model on it. So now we have an OCR model, machine learning training text model that will generate text, and it's trained, fine-tuned on the Teletype documentation. So the thing that it's really trained with is this wonderful little package called GPT-2 Simple that you can find on GitHub, and it's produced by somebody called MiniMaxIR, who's really called Max, and it makes it really super simple to train custom models and also to run them with the OpenAI GPT-2 stuff at the base of it. More than that, it also links to a Google Collaboratory notebook where you can run this for free, or at least you can train it for free. You can't run it in production for free, but you can run it for hours training itself, and it's really useful. It's super easy, like anyone can do this. So the anyone can do this is part of the interesting thing of this for me. It's like, okay, when you see the results of this language model, it produces super realistic text that is almost almost indistinguishable from a real person. And you can train this thing for free on any subject matter, and you can run it in the cloud for almost nothing, for like less than $1 per hour if you're using Amazon AWS the way I am. So, okay, that's step one. Step two, let's go back here. Is I have a little Python script called Twitchbot, which is a Twitchbot. Hey Russ, you didn't really miss much. Mostly just like I'm halfway through my recap, So you really didn't miss anything. So yeah, I got this Twitchbot, which is a little Python bot. We're going to edit that in a while. Oh yeah, the first thing I want to do is actually update my Amazon-based web server that's implementing like the server that the Twitchbot calls. So the Twitchbot is going to be here, behaving like me, pretending to be me. Meanwhile, on Amazon, I have spun up a GPU-powered AWS instance, and I want to edit the web server. So let's let's go log into Amazon, and my my AWS IP I put in the environment because that's going to be handy later. And it looks like this is going to work. And do I want to check that fingerprint? Not really. Are you sure you want to connect? Yes. And that's okay. So we're now connected into Amazon. This is an AWS GPU-based machine. And it's running Linux, of course. Anyway, now we can see both sides of the paper. I guess that's something. You can still read the text if you squint. So yeah, here I have a file, web.py, and web.py, we want to make some edits to, and I'll try to figure out what those edits are while I ramble a bit. Do I need to turn on word wrap? Yes, thank you. I will need to turn on word wrap. Otherwise, it'll all end up with AI text spattered into the right margin, as you can kind of see on some of this. Or you could if my screen was laid out right. Oh well, whatever. So in web.py, this is a little web server. Shall I print the whole thing? I mean, I guess I should print the whole thing, yeah. Sorry, the screen is hiccuping badly. 487, is word wrap even a feature on Teletype? No. It's not, really. How do I... Oh no. I can't remember how to use the editor. Here we are. No, I think I should just print this whole thing. Let's print the whole thing, because it'll be a little boring, but then we can just wait for it. And, of course, things don't print very fast around here. But that's okay. I want to read the code so that you see it's kind of the simplest web server I could muster. So, in answer to your question, is word wrap even a feature? No, it isn't. The Teletype has hardware that if you go to the end of the line and you don't hit a carriage return, well, it's just going to keep printing at the end of the line. And similarly, it doesn't have backspace. It doesn't have like reverse the line feed thing. It doesn't have a form feed. It doesn't have most things that you might want from an interactive experience. But it does have great smell. And especially the tape. I mean the tape, because it's oil impregnated tape, so the tape smells wonderful. And it has a great sound, so that makes up for all the lack of features. But yeah, so when Ross says, do I need to turn on word wrap? Yes, I do, but I've implemented it in firmware. So the firmware is, the Teletype has a current loop serial connection, and that goes into a teensy microprocessor, and on the teensy it's doing basically serial to USB. But because it's a whole microprocessor with a real ARM chip, then I'm also doing a few little useful things like word wrap, and so I can send it an escape sequence and it'll turn it on. So it's implemented a few escape sequences, and like all of that stuff, you can find it on my GitHub. You can find the firmware itself under ASR33 firmware, and it's a little Arduino style project. So I've lost my glasses, and I need them, otherwise I can't read. So let's see what it says. Okay. Oh yeah, this generate thing, this generate function here that is just scrolling off the top of the screen, that's the thing that's really just doing generating text, and that's the piece that I want to edit. So I'm going to scroll up and show you that. The rest of it is like basically how simple of a web server could I possibly make. And then it has a global instance of this GPT-2 text generator. This little thing here, it's like it'll only generate one piece of random text at once. Yeah, so what I want to do, let's scroll back up. Rewind, use the up arrow cursor keys. Of course, there is no up arrow cursor keys. What I want to do is in here, there's a new thing, a new parameter in the GPT-2 library called top P. And apparently if I set that to 0.9, it'll produce more coherent sentences. I don't know, there's a write-up on Max Wolf's Twitter that I saw was quite interesting. So I'm going to go to line 19 and I'm going to append in here oh, I got it wrong. So replace the beginning of line with a space, and let's see, that's better. So top P apparently is the it's a new parameter. Oh yeah, so in case you're wondering, that back arrow is the underscore character, and the little up arrow here is the caret, the hat, because this is old enough that underscore is not in the ASCII table. ASCII 63, but the machine itself is 69. So anyway, I think it's top P. Try it. But I have to update the library, I guess. GPT. I wonder, is it GPT underscore? It's GPT dash, and yeah. Oh, I was really confused about the arrows. Thanks. I thought it was some strange programming language. No, it's literally just like the back arrow is where the underscore used to be. So yeah, GPT-2 underscore. Let's try it. And Russ says, on Monday I drove up to northern Washington State and traded a Model 32 for a 33. Woohoo! With a Bell 101C modem. Or something. Oh, we've hit the end of the line. It seems to be missing the H plate, which you absolutely do need. Oh no. You should be able to get a spare H plate from people on Green Keys will help you out. Yeah, you do. The H plate is the linkage that connects the keyboard to the rest of the machinery. And the reason that is important is when you hit a key, then it's got to transmit the key before it'll unlock the keyboard. So, because otherwise you wouldn't transmit the whole character. So mechanically, you press the key down, and it trips the distributor that turns it onto signals. And then when the distributor has finished, there's a little clutch that will take you back. Oh yeah, absolutely. If you need like measurements, ping Wayne, because he probably has one out. I don't want to like I could give you a photograph from here, but I'm not going to unplug it anytime soon. Oh, so that's wonderful. You're going to get a whole 33. So yeah, when the distributor has finished sending a character, this clutch unlatches and says, okay, I can stop spinning now. And then it triggers, it like rocks this H plate that unlocks the keyboard so that you can type the next character. Alright. I keep forgetting to do things with the quiet flag. And also, I've got a slight mechanical issue here. You can see at this that the character turn is not going fast enough. Ever since I oiled machine the other day, when it slams back to the character turn, you can see that the R is actually printing before it had hit the backstop. Yeah, so my firmware has some delays that it puts into the line. When it sees a character turn, it'll add a couple delays, and I think I just need to extend that to be on the safe side. I could adjust the dash pot, and I think actually if I adjust the dash pot, it'll have the same effect. But you kind of need to get inside it with the cover off to adjust the dash pot. I think. Yeah, I can't really reach it. There's like a little lever that adjusts the damping. Let's see if I can show you. No. Yeah, in here. Where are we? There we are, very super blurry. That thing there. That there is like a dash pot, and the dash thing here, if I hit character turn, goes and flies into that dash pot, where it gets damped by the air in the dash pot, and there's a little bleed thing the other side of this that I can't reach without the cover off, that controls how much damping it is, and I have a little too much damping on the character turn. So anyway, back to normal position here, more or less. So okay, I've upgraded this. My way of running the web server is super simple. Just run it with no hop. And then I'll be able to log out. Okay. And okay, there's some warnings, but I think it's doing the right thing. And I guess we should test whether it's doing the right thing by just calling the web service. Yeah, so let's do that. So what I'm going to do here is in my browser type http:// this thing, and then the hi folks at the end of it is like the prompt for the text that it should go generate. So we'll see if that... the fact that it's taking a while to run is a good sign, because this machine will take a little while to run. It'll take a few seconds, maybe 10 seconds for each piece of text that you want it to generate. And it could be faster. I mean, it's running on... 10 times faster and 10 times more expensive. I'm just doing the cheapskate version. So, hi folks. Guide, you will learn how to, okay, remove the picture ornaments, paper decorations, and bookends from the back of the printer. I'd missed those on my first deassembling of the machine. Remove the switch, card, and pulley arrangement from the left side of the printer base. Well, that sounds useful. And how to remove the power pack, and the call control unit, and the switch assembly. Yeah, I think that's useful. Yeah, I can work with that. So my bot is running, well, my web service is running. And if you want to go call that, you actually could. I'm going to log out, because no hop is going to keep it running. And now I have this thing. And apologies for the glitchy stream again. I don't know what's going on there. Super glitchy. Super glitchy. Sorry. Laggy stream. Well, we'll just have to hope that it gets itself back again. But I'm like dropping frames by the million as we speak right here. And I'm sorry about that. Yes, well, I hope it'll improve. I think it's mostly just my my local internet, because this is terrible. It's like literally it's got 0k of upload right now, and there's nothing that I can do about it. Okay, let's carry on. I'm sorry it's so laggy. I'm just going to keep going. Now I'm back on my machine, and what I plan to do here is to basically say the Twitchbot that's going to call it, I want to do a new feature. Well, let's do the thing. Let's make sure we have message Y. There's 2 new features in my Twitchbot that I want to code up today. The video is dropping, but the audio is not. Is that a new feature? I don't know. Yeah. I think just, yeah. There's a little... yeah, there's a little bandwidth, but really not enough. I'm dropping all of it. Oh, I'm sorry. This may be really bad. I wonder... Well, I don't know what to do about this, other than just, like... other than just live with it. I mean, it's not really going to be very convenient, because... I don't know. Yeah, I'm just on the Wi-Fi, and my Wi-Fi should be fine, because nobody else is on it. At least as far as I can tell. And I'm right next to the router. And so everything that could be done is being done. Sorry. So somebody say something in chat, and we'll see it print. And then if you say pling GPT-2, it should just work. And so I'll rely on one of you to do that, assuming that you've not given up. Dropped already. So, yeah, I'm going to ignore the internet problems and just keep going. Maybe there's something on TV. So what I want to do with the Twitchbot is, there's 2 things that were annoying me. One is that, like, what I'm at here, I'm at the shell. And so that's great, but I want to make this really interactive. I want to have... I can type something here and have it part of the Twitch, right? So if I'm running Twitchbot in background, I want it to just be in background. But if I'm running it in foreground, I want it to be interactive. And it isn't right now. There's no kind of input. So there's that. And then the next thing after that is, what I want to do is make it print real sentences. And to get the sense for what real sentences are, I think you're going to have to... somebody's going to have to say pling GPT-2. So I'm just going to wait around until some of that happens. Meanwhile, the real sentences thing we'll explore when it happens. Let me show you the Twitchbot code while that is happening. So here's a little browser window with the Twitchbot, and it's a Python async.io code, because I wanted to learn async.io, and then I got all sorts of tripped up with I think I know what it is. I think I know what my video issues are. Next door there's a roller derby and I think they're sharing the same internet connection, and everybody there is probably like streaming it too. So anyway, so yeah, this uses Python async.io, which I wanted to learn, and it's a bit of a mystery. It's very async, and the thing that is still a mystery to me is error handling, because a couple times I've got stack trace and it made no sense. But anyway, there's this little thing, and basically I want to make it have an input. Oh, croop! Bang! The GPT-2 thing doesn't work, because down here is this hard-coded IP address, and it's just not going to work. So we better edit that. We better go fix it. So let's go to line 69. And change 3.93.163.156. Change that to quote plus and I think that should replace it. Let's go see. Okay, that sounds realistic. I have it. OS is already imported. So there's that. Okay, so then the next thing is like, how do I make this actually have an input? And so I went to the web, as I usually do, and found this thing on Stack Overflow of somebody saying if I use this package called AIO console, it's an async console interface for async I/O. So that sounds like feasible. And here it says basically await a input. That's the magic text that I have to put in. So somewhere in here, in my Twitchbot, I want to say when it runs up, I guess when it gets the ready event, like in line 44. Like once it's got the ready event, then I can put a loop in that says, hey, forever, let's just get something from the console, whatever this is. So let's try it. Let's see. What I want to say is, whatever my thing is, text, my chat, await a input and I guess that'll do the prompt. Yeah, that should work. And then send that. How do I send it? Go back on here on the listing. Event on the message, I basically say, oh, I just print. No, that's printing it to the terminal. If I receive a command like this one, I have this context. I have this context and CTX. Yeah. I don't have a context yet. Where do I get the context? In... This is from a... This is commands. This is importing from this. twitch.io.ext. So I've got to read the doc for that thing. So meanwhile, I think what I want to do is say, like this thing here, await ctx.send. And I'm just going to send the text. right? That seems like the right thing to do. Okay, but where's my context going to come from? I need context. I need a context from the async.io thing. Okay. Well, while my browser thinks about that, which my browser is like super duper slow, I guess I'm going to go up to the top in line 14. And go import it. And it's called AIO console. So there's my async.io console. So there's that. Moving towards like successfulness, hopefully. Okay. Now, what about this thing? I wish I had like a Python IDE, like PyCharm. I could just like browse through the sources of this thing, but no. What I'm looking at is twitch.io.ext.commands.bot. So let's see. There's no context message apparently on the ready message, but let's see what happens. Here's my bot. Okay. What's it gonna do? It's gonna send a ready. Okay. And that's not very useful. Okay, so I'm subcollecting this and it really doesn't have a context. Is there a... oh, there is a get context. Create a context with the given message. And I don't know what the message is. And... this says it's a... so this is where async.io is like totally mysterious to me. And if you know anything about Python, chime in. So anyway, async def get context, right. I can call this, but what's my message? Well, what's my handle commands thing? Okay, that seems... okay. Am I using that already? I'm not using that. It's doing some stuff with this. Maybe it's literally a string. It doesn't seem like it's a string. I'm making this way too hard. Like way too hard. Because on here I've got a message at this point. When I get a command in the door, I get a message. So I could say, okay, only actually start listening if I get a bell. Like, no. Okay, I'm gonna like do this properly. Get context says it creates a context with message, channel, author, and prefix. So let's go and look at the definition of context. Because that seems like a useful thing to have. And where is context? I don't know where context is. Maybe it's in here. Yeah. Maybe it's in here. Again, if I had like PyCharm, I would have an easier time. But I can't load PyCharm because my PC that I'm like running this from is so underpowered. Where's context? There it is. Twitch.io data classes context. Okay. It's in data classes. And where is the context of which a command is invoked under? It's only available through the command's extension. That's no good then. Okay, so I'm doing the wrong thing. When I say context.send over here, context.send, I don't want context.send, I just want to like send a message. So I could just Google Twitch.io send a message, or I could go look at the doc for this thing. And Twitch.io at least is fairly well maintained. I mean, the fact that I don't understand it, it's like I just got to work on that. All right, Twitch.io. How do I find how to send a message? There's a Reddit thread. My Googling tells me. I could just read the docs, but I can't really see how the docs fit together. Because I've got to build them with Sphinx or something. Documentation, click here. That's what I want. And they have a Discord chat, which is always useful. So, AIO console. Printing that thing. Awaiting for input, and it's only the context.send thing that I'm looking for. So that's around line 45, 6, 47. Yep. That's the next line after that. So if I had 1 million followers, then somebody would tell me how to fix this thing. So I'm going to have to work it all out myself here. Okay. When there is a message... Okay. Now let's look at the docs for Twitch.io. It says there's a client. I've got client. Oh, I can see who's chatting. Oh, that's kind of handy. Oh, that's nice. That might be useful. But let's look for send. Sends a... Okay, this is a coroutine. I really don't understand async IO coroutines, but let's see. Coroutine, send. Okay, content is a string. And this is a channel. It is in a channel. Do I have a channel? I do. Yes. Okay, that's easy. I can just say self.channel. Send. And a string. That's better. Okay, let's try it. Instead, I want to say self.channel .send chat. What do you think? Should we try it? Oh, sorry. I've got to switch my inputs. Oh wait, self.channel.send chat. Instead of, oh wait, ctx.send chat. That should work. Let's try it. Nope. Whoops. Okay, bear with me while we have a traceback then. Yeah. Anyway, if you're new to this, oh, that's not bad. That's not as bad as it could be. Normally my Python tracebacks go for hours. And of course if I'd remembered to do pip install -q or whatever or pipe the output to dev null or something. Here we go. Downloading. Poor thing. Oh. Alright. That is about my limit of coding today. But I actually succeeded if this works. If this is anything like it working, then it's a good sign, because there's two things that I wanted to do in the Twitchbot. One is fix my hard-coded IP address. And then the second is have a... Oh no, there's a third thing too. Okay. Let's try it again. The third thing is... Okay, the first thing was the IP address. The second thing was this, making it actually read lines. And the third thing is we're never going to get to it because we now have, for real, a traceback. And the traceback is due to some little exception, and who knows what that exception is. A input. Okay. Oh, okay. It's just me being silly. The import thing is wrong. I think that's all there is to it. And if this traces back, then I'll go to plan B. Aha! Yes, we have an input prompt. It doesn't work. Of course it doesn't work. I mean, this is let's see why it doesn't work, and let's see if we can make any sense of the traceback. Okay. Well. Yeah. What does it say? Stra? What? Oh no! Oh no, self.channel is like just literally the channel name. That's no good. That's no use. Self.channel is supposed to be the actual channel. Self.channel. Yeah, I initialize it with the channel name. and I never construct a actual Twitchbot Twitch.io channel from that thing, because I never need to, because the commands stuff just does it magically. I super init the bot, so maybe the bot itself has a channel. I mean, it must do. So let's have a look. Twitch.io. I'm passing in, on here I'm passing in the initial channels. Yeah, initial channels, there it is, right? So I'm passing into the constructor of my bot object, this thing. Does it actually construct a channel? Yeah! I can say, get channel in the bot. What are you saying, Russ? And you also scored 7. 7. Woohoo! Nice. 7 paper tape rolls. I'm having a huge dropout again, sorry. Pink is awesome. Pink is great. I wish I had some pink paper. I only have yellow and like dark blue thing. Pink would be so awesome. Oh, do you want to try calling the bot? Like say pling GPT-2 and see if it... yeah, but is it oiled though? I hope it's oiled. And then call pling GPT-2 and see if the bot is going to respond and join in this conversation. Meanwhile, my spelunking over here says we can actually just get channel. And from the bot. Oh, maybe not. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, we can say join channels. There we go. It'll take a little while before anything happens, because it is going to call the web service. But the fact that there's no big traceback is a good sign. It means it hasn't broken yet. Okay. Wow. Oh, word wrap! Whoops. Whoops. Yeah. This is what happens when you don't have word wrap. Okay. Yeah. Now, I'm going to keep googling on channels while this thing hammers itself into oblivion. Oh yeah, we could trade some. Absolutely. I could mail you some yellow and you can mail me some pink. That's a straight swap. Absolutely, I'm totally down for that. Just message me and we'll organise it. I have like 1.5 boxes of yellow, and I think there's how many rolls? I think there's like 8 rolls in a box. So I'll mail you a box of that. It'll take UPS or whatever, cheapest. Yes, good. Let's see. I wanna fix word wrap before we go any further. Then I want to go edit this thing here that says, I think I want to join specific channels. I'm not sure. Because this channel stuff here, it gets a message and creates a context. That's fine. I haven't really figured out how the bot knows what channel it's in. Let's look at that. Initial channels. There they are. Oh, it just opens a WebSocket connection to them. Yes, let's exchange a box of tape. Perfect. Initial channels, and then it doesn't. So I need to go like, oh, self WS is the WebSocket thing, and the WebSocket connection is going to have a connection to this channel anyway, and so I can get it from the cache. I can say get channel and then the name of the channel. I can just do it. Let's try it. Oh wow. Oh, that's an interesting message I've never seen before. Wow, I don't know what happened. Stood in, resource temporarily unavailable. Wow. I don't know what that was. I'm going to have to Google that one. That's an interesting message. That's a very interesting message. Very interesting message. Huh. Let's see if it lets me get back in. Yeah, I'm back in. Now, in my Twitchbot code, somewhere I have this thing that says what am I doing? Self.channel.send. Okay, so I want to delete that and instead say self.get channel. Where's my little thing here? Helper. Get channel. So let's actually get the channel itself, and then let's see. I think that STDIO may be because it crashed with something in the event loop here that was async that didn't get cleaned up right, which would be kind of weird because Python process was stopped, and it yeah, ooh, interesting. Anyway, does it work? No. Okay, at least I've got word wrap on, so I'll see the full error message. Yeah. No,
attribute send.
Oh, non-type. Non-type has no attribute send. That means it's itself, the get channel returns like a none. It wasn't in the cache. So I need to do join channels. Okay. This is what I got. Photos that are. Okay. Awesome. I gotta log out because the in is busted. Wow. So in here, instead of saying get channel, I gotta say join channels. And in fact, what? Where am I? Ooh, I like the picture, that's awesome. That's superb. Frieden Business Systems Tape Talk. Oh, that's wonderful. And very pink. Nice. All right. Hey, thank you. That's really awesome. Frieden making the Flexo writer. Okay. Where am I with this thing? I want to say this error says handle the message event. No, did I really get that right? No. Here's my startup thing. This is what I thought I had. Ah, the joys of an old editor. And of course I could just like SSH into the machine and edit with Vim, but... And sure enough, I've messed it up. My editing is... Wow. Yeah, I've actually busted my editing through, like, putting lines in the wrong place. Wow. 45, 6, 7, 8, 49. Well, let's move line 49. Luckily, that's easy. 49. Move. Okay. 48. And then 45. Print out that set of lines again. The ED editor requires you to think about what you're doing and to memorize a little of where your context is and to build a mental model of it. And I am not good at that yet. Yeah. So I'm going to get better at that. The only way to get better is to practice. So sure enough, let's do it. Okay. 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. Alright. I definitely need like a new line in here somewhere. let's go there and add a new line. Okay, now let's go 45, 46, 47, 48. This needs a little bit of changing. Expansion memory is in your head. It is. Alright, 40. Oh, do I want to do this here? What I'm doing here is saying join channels. And I may as well just like do it properly. Instead, what about if I go to line 40 at the end of the constructor down here, somewhere like this. Oops. Like self.quiet equals quiet. There I am. Somewhere around here. And actually just join the channel. And then the Twitch.io doc says, let's see, is there a piece of doc here? There's nothing in the doc, but here it says, channels is a union of a list of strings or a tuple of strings. Well, okay, it'll be a whatever, a tuple. Okay. And then oh, it's called join underscore channels, and that will be brackets ch. Okay. Was never awaited, which I guess makes sense. Enable trace malloc to get the object allocation trace back earlier in the game. Temporary line unavailable again, which is just bizarre. Line 40. So it's in the constructor. So of course I can't do that. Okay. All right. Well, let's do it in the right place then. There you are. It's gone. I still need to join the channels. But let's go to line 43 or something. Where was that? 48 something. Let's see. I hope this is not too terribly laggy. I see like laggy signs, and it doesn't look great. But I guess, yeah. Well, I'm gonna keep going anyway. I've got to get this code working. There. Let's fix that. And I guess I want to say a weight on this thing. But my knowledge of async I/O means I'm just guessing about when I need to await. Now I get to input. And of course I don't need that at all. What? Okay. So if that's 45, 46, 47, 48. This is 49. Okay, it's right. Okay. I think this is at least in the right ballpark. Nope. This is just too difficult. Oh, why do I make it so hard? Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. We're spoiled with our visual terminals. Oh, isn't it bliss? Imagine running a whole operating system with a terminal like this. Oh, those poor people. It's like we bootstrapped ourselves out of this mess. Okay. Alright, well, CH equals... Oh! Yeah, okay. Let's print out the listing from approximately line, like, 25, I don't know. Let's roll some paper! Oh, yeah. Well, what better thing to do on a Wednesday night than hang out and edit, unsuccessfully edit async.io Python code. It's like, isn't this what everybody wants to do? Alright, I thought this was going to be more productive actually. I thought we might like succeed. And I guess the answer is no. Well, okay. If we can't succeed, then we're just going to try again until we succeed. So, okay, here's the ready event, but it's not bracket C8. This thing here. It's self dot channel. So, okay, let's go to line 25, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Line 46. And change that to self.channel. That should do it. And if anybody who's joined and has no idea what's going on, then oh no, that was bad. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's write the whole thing over. CH. Oh wait. Self dot. Join channels. Darn square brackets. Self dot channel. Close square bracket. Close parentheses. That even looks right. Okay. So 46 I'm going to delete. Let's go to line 46. Oh no! Even worse, I get stuck in the wrong mode. Alright, let's go to 46. This line is bogus. And I'm sorry, I'm dropping frames all over again. Sorry about the lag, everybody. This looks okay. So, 47, 48, 49, 50 are all complete rubbish. And so let's print what's left. Is there a backslash on the keyboard? There is. There's a forward slash and yeah, Shift L is the backslash. So there, yeah, there is. Alright, now does this code look right? CH is await self-join channel. I'm going to join the channel. Oh, that doesn't look right. If I go back to my Twitch.io source, join channels does not necessarily return anything. I don't know, I can't tell right now. No, it doesn't return anything. I need to call get channel as well. So let's go back here. So I don't think I need the await in here either. I just think think that's it. I think I can just say join the channels, but then later here, now I've got to say let's get the channel. Get channel and the name. Let's live dangerously. I'm just gonna, like... Oh, this endless editing session! Somebody order pizza. Coroutine. What join channels was never awaited. Okay, so I do need to await it. Because it's a coroutine. And how do I know it's a coroutine? Because if I go on here, it says async def. I get it. If it's a coroutine, you want to actually use the result. You just got to await it. Okay. Let's do that. Oh no. Okay. So it's doing something weird with standard I/O, and this makes me very worried because I'm doing weird things with standard I/O already, and the fact that if it crashes, bad things happen to std I/O. I don't know. Anyway, ED is the standard editor. And so I trust this at least. Now on this self-joint channels, this is line 46. Oh, it told me when it crashed. It told me it's line 46, so I can actually go there. Oh, there's an interesting thing about the ED editor. If I don't put a slash at the trailing end of the line, then it prints it. But if I do, it means I short circuit and I'm done. That's nice. Anyway. This is it. This is good. And... am I ready? Yes. Does it work? No. Of course it doesn't work. You know, at some point I'm just going to give up and go SSH into this thing. It's taking way longer than my patience usually has. Non-type has no attribute send. Are you serious? It can't even get the channel. I said I want to join the channel. I said I want to join the channel, and how does it not, like... Come on, really? Okay. How about we cheat on this a little bit? Just to speed things up. Can I cheat on this at all? I can't even SSH into my machine. Nope. Sorry, I'm in a different window. And this window here. Embrace it. Yeah. I think you're right. I mean, I think... Well, whatever. You know, what I'm gonna do this. Ooh, well, this is interesting too. I'm totally going to embrace the slow, thank you. What else is there to do? In Hamilton, okay. Line 75. Oh, of course, because it's not in the environment. Yes. My AWS IP address is not in the environment. I'm running this hugely expensive AWS server, and I forgot to tell the bot where it is. Okay. Nope, can't do that. So, I'm creating bugs faster than I'm fixing them today. Let's put it in here. And go to the end. And AWS IP equals, and then my AWS IP address, which I gotta go look through history. Oh, that's a lot of history. Wow. It's oh, it's way back at the beginning of history. Goodness me. 34 dot 230 dot 29 dot 13. Okay, let's put history back again. Oh, dear. Okay. I'm embracing the slow. What's up again? It says, hello from TTY, non-type object has no attribute send. I think this means that my whole, my strategy of saying join channels doesn't work. And so what is it about that strategy? Well, I say 46. Somewhere down here, but joining the channels is not working. Oh, did you actually create? No, I don't think I have to do that. I mean, I think the channel is like 33 ASR. I think that's literally the channel name. But I discovered a new thing. Oh no, it's not a new thing. I'm reading the Twitch.io source here, and it says get context, because my previous thing was like I didn't have a context, but there's a get context method, but what it needs is actually a message. and I don't have a message at the point where I'm no, that's an actual message. I want to send a message. Here I don't have a message yet. Okay, so I can't do this one because message is not a string. Message is a bot message. Handle commands. Da 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 da. Global before hook. This is all the bot, and it seems like it's going to receive events, but it's not. Oh no, the send thing is actually send. It's sending is not happening from here. Events when a mode is received. I don't know what a mode is. Okay. There's a user notice. I don't know what that is. Here's my channels. I'm going to create a WebSocket connection. Maybe I should look at what this is. This WebSocket thing. And that comes from twitch.io.websocket. So let's see if I can find some of that. And maybe the WebSocket has some properties like a channel. WebSocket connection and initial channels. There we are. Do I have a channel object in here? Oh, it's the raw WebSocket. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Alright. Is connected, yes. Connect, yes. It's gonna be connected because it said ready up in the printout. It definitely said ready. Upon successful authentication, an attempt to join the channels is made. Well, that sounds like sensible. And it calls self.join channels. So that's good. Yeah, it's going to join the channels. It's already going to join the channels. Okay. So why doesn't my channel stuff work? Await the message event. Da, 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 da. I'm just going to ignore that then. Let's ignore that. Let's just let's just ignore the error and carry on regardless. Because the other thing I wanted to do was ignore the problem, and it will go away until it'll go away. So let's check that GPT-2 is actually working, because we never did this with the new IP address thing, did we? Oh no, we did. I fixed the profile. And it's obviously working because it didn't throw up a traceback. So I think this is good. Okay, what do we got to say? You can be kept online, unplugged, by momentarily depressing the stop push button. I should hope so too. This connection provides a break condition during which the automatic carriage return line feed functions are on. This is like it's a nonsense machine. It's all wrong. You can turn off the terminal by depressing the CLR push button. Well, you could if you could find it. It's all wrong. Yeah, so this shows the next thing that I wanted to do, though, which is, let's ignore that like first problem and let's do the second problem. This is way too much text, and it doesn't like complete with a sentence, and I feel bad about that. So before like 2 hours are up, I want to go fix it. So the way I'm going to plan to go fix it is truncate at the end of a sentence, as you would, because there's just purely, like, there's a good sentence there. It says, the terminal can be kept online unplugged by momentarily depressing the stop push button. And then we'll all reply in the chat and say, that's nonsense, and then it'll reply to us again. That's what I want to happen, right? So let's stop it at the end of the first sentence. Now, when GPT-2 generates text, it does have some kind of amazing smarts to it, because it understands sentence structure, or it has learnt something about sentence structure. And I believe that there is a end of sentence marker in the GPT-2 model. So if I want to do this sentence thing server-side, if I want to do this GPT-2 thing server-side and truncate to sentences, then I could like hook into the way that the model gets decoded and look for the end of sentence. Because basically, when it produces text, it produces a chunk of symbols that mean words, and then they get decoded into actual words. But that's like the smart, I'm a machine learning developer kind of approach, and I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do the brute force. Let's get all the text back from the web service, and then look for the period at the end of the sentence. Because why not? And so yeah. So how do we do that? Well, we can make some more edits to this Twitchbot code that is moderately broken already, and just strip out we can just strip out we can look at the dot. As this name implies, this code refers to the end of the message. The carriage return character is preceded by a period, and so it's talking about what I'm talking about. I mean, it's trying to actually contribute to the conversation, because we're using a prefix. And so I really do think if we make it prefixed properly and strip out like for the period, it's going to make a lot of sense as a chat bot. It'll really add to the character of the conversation. So that's my plan. Feed it into... yeah, well, we could try. It would probably just make the matters worse, wouldn't it? But if you fed it into Vim, it would never get out. If you fed it into ED, at least it would come out the other side. So, and this standard in thing is going to annoy me a little. So maybe we should like comment out the bad code here. So if I go from 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. So between lines 46 and 50, I want to change from the start of line to a pound sign. Let's see if that worked. This is my super duper ED mode. Look at that. It did. I can comment out code in ED like a master. So this bit doesn't work. That's okay. We can live without that. Okay, was that the end of it? That was the end of it. Now, I'm going to look for the thing where we say GPT text. And like down here, we've got this thing that says actually go to the web service and get the text. So we get back a chunk of machine generated content. And yeah, I get back a whole chunk of machine generated content, and then that doesn't make any sense. That code doesn't make sense. What are we doing? Okay, well, there's a bot command. Great. It gets the URL. It takes all the 5 most recent chat messages. It constructs the URL. Oh yeah, it adds all of these to the end of the URL. That's the thing we're going to send. We go request get, and we get a response back. Okay, that's it. Okay. I thought there was more to it for some reason. I thought there was some stuff chopping out the prefix, but that must be done on the server. So, what my plan is here is to just look for the position of a period. So let's look, literally, we're going to look for the end of the sentence. And how do I get... in Python, how do I find the position of the first match? I ought to know this completely by hand, and I completely don't. I do know there's a place where I used this trick before, because it's up here in the web server. In this web server, I'm doing a no. Maybe I didn't check in my correct version of the web server. Did I print it out? I think I'm losing it. Hey, back to the beginning. Here in Amazon land, we printed out this thing. Oh, okay. It says text.find. And that gives me a position. So string.find is the thing that I was looking for. So I want to say string.find period. I wonder if string.find has like a start at position. It does. Just looking at like an experiment, it has a second parameter, which is the point to start at. So here I want to say, like, 78. I'm going to get this text. Oh, sorry. I want to do a 10. Find a period. And the starting position is like 20. So this will give me back the position, the first period after 20 characters into the string. And then I want to send in here I want to send from the beginning up to pp plus 1. Does that sound like it might work? Like, let's take this, let's find the period, find where the period is, but not if it's right at the beginning of the string, but let's find the period and then send everything up to the period, including the period, so the plus 1 at the end of it. Let's try it. Yes, let's try it. Now, if we give it a really nice prompt, then it's going to write something really nice. Say something really nice. Like, so this should be enough of a prompt to get it. Right, surely that's enough of a prompt. Because it'll just follow on with whatever is the next most likely thing. And so it's going to say something really nice. And now we can have little contests of how nice can we make it say things. Yes, I think that's close enough. And it was a complete sentence, and only the first one, and it works, it works. All right, let's do another one. This is 35. What is it about 35 that you really like? When the type wheel is in the type wheel position, the magnet coils are energized. Oh yeah? What about 47? To make up some other random number. Okay, while it's thinking about that, if you're still watching, you can try too. What I want to do is like prompt it so that it says something like super nice and interesting. What can we prompt it with? I think this is working. Oh no! Oh, there's no backslash. Wow. Oh, that's interesting. Is there any other characters? It's regular ASCII and uppercase and lowercase, right? And I gotta have this bot produce more. We gotta have this bot produce much more stuff. And see if it keeps chuckling. I like that it chuckles. It seems so unlikely. My bot is chuckling at me. And it's super slow, but that's okay. I think we understand that, do we? Oh, and that's interesting. I see chat myself in a different sequence than this does. You have both cases, yeah. I think we understand that the backspace key is wired in such a way that the T lever holds the shift key down. Yes. But I think that's part of the attraction, right? Typewriters and terminals are really different beasts, despite the fact that this looks like a typewriter on a bad day. I'm going to zoom back out there to show a little more picture, because it's nice that way. Yeah. Okay. Alright, well it's just about 9 o'clock Eastern, and I'm going to ask the bot what time it is. And let's see if it actually knows the time. I don't think it does. I don't even think it'll know what year it is, but it'll probably think it's 1968. We can always, like, try. That's not really what I was asking for. Code Bureau CR, white space, spacing characters, behind point, bracket, marking. That doesn't make any sense. That isn't even, like, it's a non sequitur. And the GPT-2 bot didn't say anything useful. Alright, so I think since it's 9 o'clock Eastern, I have to do, I mean, I can't leave it going now because it's so much fun. I think I have to get it to just print one more thing and then we'll wrap up. I'll go check in the code changes that I've got here. Check in that web server, common mode 4. Common mode 4 is totally the best one. Okay. I will remember to turn off my AWS instance. Thank you. Absolutely. You're absolutely right there. But I think first I have to SSH to it. What did I want to do in here? I didn't want to do anything in here. I'm fried. I'm totally fried. What I wanted to do is SCP. I should put that PEM file into my SSH config or something. EC2-user at colon web.py. Let's go fetch the latest web.py because I made changes that I didn't check in. And luckily it's very small, so it doesn't take too long to copy down. And, yep, there we go. Okay. Alright, we're going offline. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm glad that some of this worked. And we now have a sentences only Twitchbot, which I'm really pleased about. So, tune in next time, we'll do some more. And I'm going to figure postage for a box of yellow paper tape, and we'll go exchange it. Swap yellow for pink. I'm totally down for that. Thanks, Russ. Thanks everybody for tuning in. See ya. Boom.